This is the all-new Wuben X4, and boy is this thing kind of neat. So, Wuben did send me this light for review, do my full review, full testing, as always, non-bias whatsoever, and we're going to see if this thing stands up to all those tests. So, let's get into some specs real quick. Right away, I can tell that Wuben has a pulse on the flashlight community because of one very interesting thing. So this light, as it appears to be a rectangular light, and usually these kind of lights have just internal batteries that you can't take out. But with this one, a little bit thicker, kind of a chonky boy there, has a lock and unlock on the side here, and it pops open on the back, and it has a removable 18650 battery. They supply you with a 3350 milliamp hour battery, which is excellent in and of itself. That's pretty good for a stock battery in a light. But removable batteries are huge for us flashlight nerds. We love them. So good on you, Wuben. Good for doing that. You might notice some similarities to the Wuben G5, which I have reviewed earlier. It has that same slide bar on it, and it has that same roller here to roll up and down on your modes, but there are some fancy new things on it. So getting into the actual specs, and I can stop rambling, it has 1500 lumens of claimed top-end turbo power coming out of this thing, and a low end of 5 from that front light. But as you'll notice, it does have a sidebar light here as well. That goes from 100 lumens down to 1 lumen. And it also has some RGB lights on there as well. So to function, we have to bring it out of lock, which is that very bottom slide right there. You bring it up one, and then you are in the sidebar light position. There's the RGB, which I have it in right now, which I will show you how to get to. But a press and hold will get me back to that main white light, and then I can scroll up, and it'll go all the way up to its 100, then it'll blink, and then all the way down, that's the 1 lumen, and then another press and hold will get me back to the RGB, and it scrolls through a couple colors. It's not smooth scrolling, as I thought with the G5, but that one isn't either. But this one just goes through a few colors there, as you can see, and then if you double tap, it's going to go into beacon with whatever color you have it on, and a single tap will just turn you right back off, but it'll go back to the RGB, and I want it on that side light. So with that, it does have magnetic on the tail, so it will stand on some metal right here, and you can light up your work area or whenever you need to do with that side light, which I think is fantastic. Also, if you just have the light on and you slide it to the lock position, it will also turn off and then not turn back on. So anyways, that's the first position, and the second position is your main white light up front here. So I've got main white light, same thing with this. You have a roller, you can go all the way up. A double tap gets you to turbo if you're not there already. So double tap, now I'm all the way at the top. Single tap will turn off, and it has memory, so it'll go right back to that. Also, there is that button on the top. I don't think I mentioned that yet, but button there. There also is a button on the back right here. Very interesting, very cool. It's a lever button, and as you see, it gives me momentary turbo when I turn it on. Either in that mode or in that mode, it's going to give me moonlight. I believe if I have it on the sidebar, it goes into turbo as well. So in any of the modes, you press that back one, it's turbo, or all the way forward is a dedicated moonlight, which you can turn it on and off with the side or the back. Either one, doesn't matter, which I think is really cool, but it's just a moonlight. It's not going to go up or down. And again, it says moonlight, but it's 5 lumens. That's kind of high. I prefer like a 0.5 or a 1. Really, 0.5 is probably the best for my use cases. But you can just see, look at those emitters on the front there. They have so many emitters. I'll turn that moonlight on so you can kind of see them, hopefully individually there. But those are all just dedicated white lights in different sort of flood or throw. Speaking of throw, 205 meters is claimed. Pretty good coming out of one of these. Not too bad. Anything over 200 meters is acceptable in my line of work. But I prefer to have like 300 if I'm going to use it for actual work stuff. 300 plus, but this thing could be very useful as a cool little chonky EDC. It has a great pocket clip on the back, pretty deep pocket carry. I like that, nice and wide. And again, this bar over here, if I didn't show you earlier, it does lock, so now I cannot press it. But if I slide it up, and it does take a little bit of force to slide it up, then I just press this, it opens that back there, and then you can get to your battery, hot swap it if you want with another 18650, put a bigger one in, better amp, whatever you want to do. But that is pretty much all she wrote. Obviously USB-C charging. It claims IP68. I don't know. We will see. I don't trust this slide bar yet. I had some issues with my G5 underwater. It did come back to life if you saw the resurrected video, but I don't know how much I trust that yet. And especially if your light gets bumped, this is pretty darn easy to slide. I don't know. We'll see. We'll do the water testing and of course the drop testing, which I am very curious to see if this survives. It is quite chunky and heavy, so fingers crossed it does, but I don't know that it will. We will see. I think that is all the features. I'm going to stop rambling now and we will get right into the test. Let's go outside and see what this looks like at night. All right, out here with the Wuben X4, we will start on the low mode of that main light, and it is a brighter low mode. It is pretty bright outside tonight, but I can start to see the trees over here. I'm sure that's very hard to see out there. Starting on low here, and I will scroll up with the scroll on the side here. As you can see, it doesn't quite super smoothly go up, kind of goes up in steps still, but there is everything from it, and it's quite a lot actually. It's a lot of light coming out here. It lights up the roadway really well. You can tell it has some sort of defined spot. And let me just make sure. I'm going to turn it off, and I'm just going to use the tail switch now, because this is definitely everything coming out of it. But yeah, it's quite a lot coming out of there. You get a really good spill and you get a good throw. The 50-meter tree is nothing. I'm getting a lot of bounce back from the school sign right now because the beam is so wide. But 50 meters seems like no problem. 100 meters, no problem. And then even beyond. And sorry if you're hearing meowing. My cat is now at my feet. But yeah, it lights up this roadway really good. And I'm interested to see the runtime on this sucker, because if this thing runs for a good amount of time on this high, this is definitely worth it. It's got a good battery in it, but yeah, I'm impressed. This is quite a lot of light. All right, we are at the shed, and here it is on its lowest mode. Like I said, quite a bit of light out of the lowest mode. Not quite a true firefly or moonlight, but there it is. As you can see, it can light up this no problem. So keeping it on this mode for a long time, if you need to use it for a really long time, is actually pretty ideal. But let's switch here to the scrolling mode. It's going to be super bright for a second. I'll turn it all the way back down here, and then we will scroll up slowly. It definitely has kind of like a low, medium, high, and then there's quote unquote like a turbo. And my goodness, there's a lot of light coming out of this. It's lit outside of the shed. A lot of the stuff around me is lit up. So really a lot of light coming out of this main front light. But let's switch to the side lights on this guy. And there it is, a much warmer color temperature. But that is all the way up. And we're going to go the opposite way this time. And this one steps down a lot more steadily, I guess, or a lot smoother down. There is that claimed 1 lumen right there, which is nice. It is nice and low, and like I said, the color temperature is really good on this side light. And we'll go all the way back up, and it's quite a bit of light. It's a big bar light. I really like that. This would be great for like an engine bay or something if you're working on it and you want to throw it on the hood. This would be awesome for that. And then if I press and hold, we're going to go to the RGB, and we can scroll through the colors here. As you can see, there's our red. So red light's my favorite because it's the most versatile, helps with your night vision. Then you've got your other colors on the spectrum here, and they are pretty bright. Obviously red being the dimmest, but you can actually see quite a bit with them. And then obviously if I double tap, I can go into a beacon with whatever color light that I have if I want to do that, but I don't really see myself using it. Just that bar light, and then obviously the main white light. Super bright, really good. All right, we are going to be submerging the X4, which says it is IPX8, or IP68, my apologies. So we're going to submerge it while it is on low in the normal light mode, the front light mode. So just one more up, you'll see, is the exposure of that USB-C. So we've got it on, 30 minutes. Let's see how it does. All right, some weird business going on here. The side light is on, and it has been, oh, and it just turned off. It's been flickering. Oh, it turned off because I moved the thing there. So I will, whoops, moved it again. Let you know if it still works. Looks like it's still turning on. We'll dry it off and see if there's any water intrusion. Okay, the X4 is completely functioning again. There were some issues after the water test. I did a few plug-in things and I let it sit for a couple of days with the battery out and completely open, and it seems to have completely dried out, and now everything works just the way it should. It goes up, it goes down. I can switch it to the bar mode and it's got its light. I can go through the colors, everything. So everything works. That is amazing. I'm glad that it works. Now we're going to put it through the drop testing from the waist height, head height, on its head, on its side. Here we go. The battery came out. I think that was locked, but back on. These hits are brutal. Okay, let's go through the modes real fast. Yep, scrolls up, scrolls down, double click to that. So we'll take it outside and we'll drop it off the roof. X4 off the roof. We'll see ya. Ooh. Okay, so the X4 did survive, and it survived completely. So this thing is working just how it was before. Again, there was maybe a little bit of a flickering. Took the battery out, made sure everything was good, put it back in, and then now that's just a non-issue. So that is awesome. I am super happy that this thing still works and functions like it should. And this is a very, very cool, innovative light from Wuben, and I'm excited for this kind of future of Wuben. They have some interesting features, some that I really like, some that I'm not too keen on, but it's kind of a balance of both. But this sliding bar particularly is kind of interesting to me. I want to know your guys' opinions on this because, you know, for me, it hits the ground, it comes out, and it turns off, which I don't really care about that, but it just seems really easy to slide up and down. And when I'm handling it, you know, if it gets bumped, or if it's not in the mode that I want it to be in and I turn it on and then it's super bright or something, I don't know, it's kind of weird. And I really don't love that it leaves the USB-C exposed. I would love to see them put that USB-C somewhere else and have it protected from water. I think that's where the water's getting in because I didn't see any here. So I think it's seeping around and inside. It does still charge and work just fine, but there was water in this battery tube, which was not great. I hate that because it says it's IP68, and don't say that if you're going to allow water intrusion. That's the only gripe, really. Other than that, I'm really surprised actually that it survived the big fall. It's kind of a chunky light, like I've said, a little bit heavier, but ultimately very good. Love the magnet as always. Think that's great, especially with the bar light on the side. You guys let me know what you think in the comments, and if you do want to pick one up, as always, I have a link in the description. I'll try and tag it in a top comment as well. Use those links and that helps self-equip out. And I am trying to buy a lumen tester, so really use those links. That'll help me get a cool TK lamp lumen tester. That's it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you on the next one.